Hey everyone, if you're a developer, you know this feeling all too well. You've just finished writing some awesome code, you're feeling great, and then you remember the annoying part? Actually getting it live on a server. Well, today we're going to take that entire tedious chore and shrink it down to a single command. But first, let's talk about the pain point. Let's talk about that manual deployment grind. It's this repetitive cycle that so many of us are stuck in every single time we need to push an update. It's a frustrating and frankly outdated dance. I mean, this probably looks pretty familiar, right? You write your code, you push it up to GitHub, then you have to pop open a terminal, SSH into your server, pull down the latest changes, and then, if you're using something like Docker, you have to manually rebuild your container and restart the whole thing. That's so many steps, and every single one is a chance for a typo or a mistake. And here's the real kicker. It's not like you only do this once. You do it for every push, every bug fix, every tiny feature update. You go through that whole checklist again. It's not just a time sink, it's practically begging for human error to creep in. Exactly. You find yourself thinking, wait a minute, there has to be a better way. I mean, isn't this what computers are supposed to be amazing at? Taking over the boring, repetitive stuff so we can focus on the creative work? And the answer is a huge, resounding yes. This is where our hero, GitHub Actions, steps into the spotlight. It's a powerful tool that's built right into GitHub, and its whole purpose is to let us automate this entire deployment pipeline and get our precious time back. The idea behind all this automation has a name: CI/CD. It sounds kind of technical, but the concept is super simple. It just means creating an automated workflow, a pipeline, that takes your code from your laptop all the way to your live server, automatically every time you push a change. No more manual steps. And when you see it side by side, wow. The change is just night and day. We go from that long error-prone checklist to one single command we already use every day: git push. You just push your code, and GitHub Actions handles everything else. It is a total game changer. So you're probably wondering, how does this magic actually work? What are the moving parts? Let's pull back the curtain and break down the anatomy of this automation. There are really just 4 key players on the stage here. You've got your app, in our case, a simple Node.js app. There's a Docker file, which is just a recipe for packaging that app. You've got your server, where the app is going to live. And then the star of the show, the workflow file. This is our master plan, written in a format called YAML. Now, don't let the term YAML file intimidate you. Seriously, just think of it as a recipe. It's a simple text file where we write down the step-by-step instructions that we want GitHub to follow automatically every single time we push new code. So what's in this recipe? Well, first we tell it when to run, the trigger. Hey GitHub, do this stuff anytime there's a push to the main branch. And then the steps. Well, they look almost exactly like what we used to do by hand. Grab the code, connect to the server, and then run the commands to get the new code and restart the app. Okay, so this brings up a really important question. For any of this to work, GitHub's computers need to log into our private server. How on earth do we let that happen securely without, pasting our server password in a text file somewhere? This is absolutely key to the whole setup. We need a rock-solid, secure way for these 2 machines to communicate automatically. And the answer is a brilliant little thing called an SSH key pair. The easiest way to think about this is like a physical lock and key. You generate a pair of digital keys that are mathematically tied together. One is the public key. Think of it as the lock. You can put this lock on any server you want. The other is the private key, and that is the only key in the world that can open that specific lock. You have to keep it totally secret. So the setup is actually pretty simple. You take your public key, the lock, and you add it to a special file on your server. Then you take your private key, the actual key, and you store it in a super secure vault inside your GitHub repository called secrets. That's it. Now your GitHub action can use that secret key to unlock your server. No password needed. All right, with our recipe all written and that secure handshake configured, we finally get to the best part, the payoff. This is where we see all that setup come together in a beautiful, automated flow. This is it. This single line is your new deployment process. You make a change, you commit it, you type git push origin main, and you're done. You can literally go grab a coffee. So what's happening behind the scenes the second you hit enter? Well, your push triggers the GitHub action. A virtual machine spins up, it grabs your code, uses that secret private key to securely log into your server, and then just runs the commands you put in your recipe. And just like that, within seconds, your new code is live for the world to see. And here's the proof. We make a tiny change to the code, maybe just updating a message from version 1 to v2 deploy. We do our git push, wait a few moments, refresh the browser, and boom, there's the new message. It just works every single time. So why does all this matter so much? Well, it boils down to 3 huge wins. First, speed. Deployments now take seconds, not minutes. Second, reliability. You eliminate human error because the same exact process runs perfectly every time. And most importantly, freedom. You get to spend your brainpower on creative problem solving, not on boring manual chores. Look, this is just scratching the surface. Once you get a taste of automating your deployments, you'll start seeing other repetitive tasks in your workflow and think, hey, I could probably automate that too. So the real question isn't just about deployment. It's what tedious task are you going to get rid of next?